Imagine this. You're floating through space when suddenly your ship loses power and begins to fall toward a massive black hole up ahead. It doesn't have enough momentum to escape. Nothing can escape a black hole, not even light. So you know that whatever happens next, there will be no rescue. At this point, you've crossed the event horizon, the point of no return, and what follows is pure speculation. But before you get torn apart by unimaginable forces, you might see some truly mind-bending things. So buckle up, because we are about to take a wild ride into the unknown and answer the question once and for all. What would happen if you fell into a black hole? Before we talk about what would happen to you, let's quickly recap what a black hole actually is. This might be old news for some of you, but it is important to establish this stuff early so that we can all be on the same page. Black holes are regions in spacetime where gravity is so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape their grasp. They are formed when massive stars collapse at the end of their lives and are known to have an event horizon, which is the boundary around the black hole beyond which nothing can return. The reason that black holes have such a strong gravity is due to their incredibly dense matter packed inside a tiny space. In fact, the center of a black hole is called the singularity and has an infinite density. According to Einstein's theory of general relativity, the gravity near a black hole becomes infinitely strong at the event horizon, and anything crossing that boundary is pulled towards the singularity at the speed of light. Crossing the event horizon, also called the point of no return, means that there is no way to go back outside the black hole. Now that we have a basic understanding of how black holes work, let's get back to what would happen to you if you were to fall into one. After crossing the event horizon, you would begin to experience a phenomenon known as time dilation. As you approach the singularity, time would slow down drastically compared to an observer far away from the black hole. This means that while you might only feel like a few seconds have passed, thousands or even millions of years could be passing for the outside observer. Additionally, the closer you get to the singularity, the slower time passes. Eventually, as you approach the event horizon, time would appear to completely stop. From an outside perspective, you would appear to be frozen in time as you cross the event horizon and begin your journey towards the singularity. However, it is important to note that this is just an illusion caused by the extreme gravity near a black hole. From your perspective, time would still be passing normally, and you wouldn't notice anything unusual until it was too late. Next up, you'd encounter something called the observer paradox. This is a weird situation that happens when you have two observers, one who is far away from the black hole and one who is falling into it. The distant observer sees the person falling into the black hole appear to slow down and eventually freeze at the event horizon. However, the person who is falling into the black hole does not observe themselves slowing down. They continue to fall normally until they reach the singularity. This is a confusing concept to wrap your mind around, but it's an important one to understand the true nature of black holes. Basically, it means that what you observe depends on your frame of reference. And sometimes that frame of reference can be really deceiving. At this point, you've fallen into the black hole and you won't be coming back out anytime soon. But the real trouble is just beginning. As you continue to fall, the gravitational forces will begin to increase dramatically, eventually reaching unimaginably high levels. These intense forces would have a devastating effect on your body, stretching and tearing it apart in a process known as spaghettification. This would happen because the difference in gravity between your head and your feet would be so great that it would literally pull you apart. Your head would be closer to the singularity and therefore experience a stronger gravitational force than your feet. This would cause your body to be stretched out like spaghetti, hence the name. This process would be both horrifying and painful and would ultimately result in your demise. But hey, at least it would make for a very gruesome and dramatic special effect in a movie. Now, I know you're probably curious about what would happen after you're completely stretched out. Well, unfortunately, at this point, physics as we know it breaks down, and we can only speculate what might happen next. Some theories suggest that you would be pulled apart at the atomic level and then reassembled on the other side of the black hole. Others suggest that you would be completely destroyed and cease to exist. But these are just theories, and we really don't know what would happen. What we do know is that if you were to survive this ordeal, you would emerge from the other side of the black hole completely unharmed. But let's be real. It's highly unlikely that you would survive the spaghettification process. So let's move on to the next part of our journey into the black hole. As you approach the singularity, everything would appear to be in chaos. Space-time would be twisted and distorted, and the fabric of reality itself would seem to be unraveling. This is because the laws of physics as we know them simply do not apply at this extreme environment. At the singularity, gravity is infinite and time is undefined. It is a place where the known laws of physics break down and where anything goes. This makes it a truly terrifying place to be, but also a place of great mystery and wonder. At this point, we have crossed the event horizon and are now inside the black hole. We have experienced time dilation and the observer paradox. We have been spaghettified and have reached the singularity. But what happens next? Does the universe end here? Does time stop here? What lies beyond the singularity? Unfortunately, we don't know the answers to these questions. This is because we haven't actually observed anything crossing a black hole, and therefore we can only speculate what might happen. However, there are some theories. One theory is that you would be transported to another universe. This is based on the idea that black holes are connected to other universes through wormholes. Wormholes are hypothetical tunnels that connect two points in spacetime. While they have never been observed, they are a possible solution to some of the problems with Einstein's theory of general relativity. If you were to fall into a black hole, you might find yourself emerging out of a wormhole in another universe. This would mean that you had traveled through time and space to an entirely new dimension. Another theory is that you would be completely destroyed and cease to exist. This is based on the idea that the singularity is a place where the laws of physics as we know them break down. If you were to fall into a black hole, you would be subjected to forces and energies that would completely destroy your body and mind. You would be reduced to a state of nothingness, a singularity of consciousness. In conclusion, falling into a black hole would be a terrifying and surreal experience. You would witness the universe in a whole new way and experience things that are beyond our current understanding of physics. While we may never know exactly what would happen, we can use our imaginations to explore the possibilities and marvel at the mysteries of the cosmos. If you liked this video, smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content like this. And remember, falling into a black hole might be the last thing you ever do, but it just might be the most fascinating one as well.